You know what? I think Best Picture. I'm just going to make an early prediction, and I believe that Best Picture is going to go to The Martian. I think that they're going to give it Best Director. It's going to be kind of a career award for Ridley Scott.
Really? Wow.
I think that actor is still up in the air, but
no, that was a few years ago. That was George Clooney.
I think that they're just going to feel like they just have to give it to DiCaprio because it's just time to give him one. And I think actress is maybe a tight race between Saoirse Ronan and Brie Larson. I think supporting actor is locked up with Stallone, and supporting actress is still kind of an unknown at this point. I think they might.
Rooney Mara.
Rooney Mara
is a strong contender. Well, I mean, actor though. I mean, DiCaprio definitely. If it's going to be, this is definitely going to be the movie that I would have given it to for Wolf of Wall Street. Just if I thought. Because if there was ever a movie where an actor is like in every frame of the movie and carries the movie, it's that performance of recent memory. But I guess for this one, it does seem. And Jamie, you have seen it, so please talk about it.
Yes,
it's very good. I mean, I understand why people are comparing it to Terrence Malick because it's really filled with nature photography, the natural photography, and that sometimes it's in a very ethereal way. Like sometimes the camera will look away from the grotesqueness taking place on the ground, and it'll lift up into the trees and the wind and it's a gorgeously shot movie, and not just from a postcard standpoint, but just the way it's conceived and framed, and the action sequences and the arrow coming right at you and the camera and whizzing over your head on the soundtrack. I think it's the sound and the cinematography are so spectacular in this movie. But it is unlike Terrence Malick in that it actually has narrative drive, which isn't necessarily a criticism of Malick because he doesn't make those kinds of movies. He makes a movie that you get lost in the feel of. This one, the drive is revenge, which is a very primal theme, and I thought it works very well. Now, the one problem that some people might have, including you, Dean, might be that you don't buy that DiCaprio has a son that looks like that looks that old. And he could, you get glimpses of the son here and there, which sometimes he looks younger, sometimes he looks older. He's a burn victim. So the whole movie is DiCaprio setting out to get well from his wounds and find Hardy and kill him. And the movie really does stack the revenge element. It really does fill you up with a need for vengeance on his part. But it's gorgeously shot. It's very, very brutal. I didn't have to look away at any moment. It has some kind of so-so CG in it. The bear is CG, and no, the bear does not rape DiCaprio.
That is the weirdest piece of misinformation.
But you have to admit that must be the greatest drug headline ever. I mean, that was fatal. I was at work and I picked on drug reporters. There's DiCaprio raped by bear. But what the? I almost yelled out. What the fuck?
It's a great disservice to the movie, and especially to that scene, because it's a really harrowing scene. The movie is a huge accomplishment, and the degree of difficulty for pulling it off is extreme. I mean, they shot in extreme conditions, and you feel it. DiCaprio's performance is nearly without dialogue throughout the entire thing, through most of it. And he's very good, but I don't necessarily think it's that kind of entirely physical performance that spells Oscar. If you're talking about Oscar time, I think the only reason why he'd win is, he's very good in it, but the main reason why he'd win is because he hasn't won before. But I think most people think great acting is, being able to deliver monologues,
dialogue,
seamlessly with character.
Could this be his piano?
or Son of a Woman.
Piano.
I would say.
I thought you said Keanu, like Keanu Reeves.
Well, no. I mean, Keanu
could
Reeves
this
is
be
one of
his
our
Keanu
finest
Reeves?
lesbians. I mean, I'm surprised Knock Knock is not on all these critics' lists, but no, never mind.
But
I mean that's true. The piano. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right about the actor thing. That's the one thing that might be standing in the way of his winning. But I do think that he's going to be the front runner just because it's time to give him one. It's just become too much of a talking point. Like, when are they going to give Leo one? You know, they're just people are fed up with it. And
well, he's still young, and it's not like he's going to stop doing great work. I mean, he's not a role.
That's true.
He really does have impeccable taste when it comes to choice of project lately.
I agree.
He does, but he has the pick of the litter. So
the movie, but the pick of the litter could include a lot of sellout shit, and he doesn't strike me as someone that'll ever do that. It will be nominated for Best Film. It will be nominated for Best Director. I'm sure he'll be nominated. I can't imagine anything beating it. All apologies to Roger Deakins for cinematography, which means that this will be the third year in a row that Lubeski wins the Oscar, which has never happened. I mean, cinematographers have won 3, but not 3 in a row.
But
so they're really making up for the fact that they didn't give him one for Children of Men or for Tree of Life. you know?